You're a surgeon. A decade of medical school, residency nights that melted your brain, and a crushing pile of debt that makes your student loans feel like a mortgage signed in hell. You did everything by the book. You saved lives, repaired shattered bodies, dragged people back from the brink. And what's your reward? A salary that barely pays your malpractice premiums, and an ex-wife who walked away with half of the scraps you had left. You're 42. Staring at a future where retirement sounds imaginary, and your version of a vacation is picking up another ER shift. The system devoured you, and now it's spitting you out in slow motion. But today, something shifts. You're in the surgeon's lounge, halfway through coffee that tastes like burnt disappointment, when your phone vibrates. Unknown number. Normally, you'd ignore it, but something makes you answer. The voice is calm, polished, straight to the point. He says he represents select clients with particular medical needs that can't be handled through conventional channels. He names a number, not for advice, but for one procedure. It carries more zeros than your yearly salary. You should hang up, you should report it, but your mind is already calculating. One surgery, just one, and you could erase your debt, reclaim some version of a life, maybe even sleep without financial ruin crushing your chest. You tell him you'll think about it. He gives you 24 hours. That night, you don't sleep. You pace your cramped apartment, watching the walls close in. You think about the Hippocratic Oath, about doing no harm. Then you think about the hospital administrator who denied your raise while buying his third vacation home. You think about insurance companies dictating your every move. You think about dying broken. When you call back, your voice is steady. You say, yes. The directions are simple. Private clinic, cash payment, no questions. You'll perform a kidney transplant. The donor is prepped and consenting, or so they claim. The address looks more like a luxury spa than a hospital. Everything gleams, equipment so advanced it makes your workplace look like a battlefield tent. A nurse hands you scrubs and avoids your eyes. The procedure is routine. You've done hundreds. Your hands move with practiced precision, muscle memory in control, while your conscience screams somewhere distant. The donor lies unconscious, vitals stable. The recipient is wheeled in, desperate hope behind sedated eyes. You don't ask, you don't want to know. 3 hours later, it's finished. Both are stable. You remove your gloves, and a man in an expensive suit gives you an envelope. You feel its weight. He praises your work, says they'll call again. You leave with more money than 6 months of honest surgery would earn. The envelope burns in your pocket like radioactive guilt. For 2 weeks, you pretend it never happened. Back to regular shifts. Save who you can, lose who you can't. You deposit the cash slowly. Pay off one card, then another. The relief is intoxicating. Then the phone rings again. This time it's a liver transplant, double the money. You hesitate 5 seconds before agreeing. The second operation feels easier. Not medically, it's more complex, but emotionally the line is already crossed. Going back feels impossible. Forward is just inertia. Over the next year you become their preferred surgeon. These aren't back alley hacks. They're clean procedures with proper tools and follow-up care. You convince yourself that matters. You tell yourself donors consent. You tell yourself recipients would die without you. The money grows. Better apartment, reliable car. You start sleeping through the night again. Almost. At work, Dr. Martinez notices the change. Calmer, less tense. A new watch. She jokes about a wealthy girlfriend. You laugh, but it unsettles you. You're getting comfortable. Comfort leads to mistakes. The calls keep coming. Kidneys, livers, corneas, once a heart. That one keeps you awake for 3 days. You prescribe yourself sleeping pills just to function. You're saving lives, you insist. These recipients have families. Without you, they'd die waiting while bureaucracy shuffles paper. Then they propose something different. A donor, young, healthy, multiple viable organs. Recipients already matched. A full harvest. You've done similar work on brain-dead patients. This shouldn't be different. But when you ask about the donor's condition, there's silence. The voice says, perfect match, consenting, paid, legal wherever they operate. You don't ask which country. You arrive, the donor is sedated. You scan the chart, 23, perfect health. Something feels wrong. You've ignored red flags before, but this one flashes like an alarm. You ask to see consent forms. The coordinator hesitates, says everything's handled. You insist. She makes a call. 10 minutes later, a different man appears. Not medical, suit too sharp, smile too cold. He tells you to focus, mentions your payment, casually adds they know where you live, where you work, shows you a photo of you entering your apartment yesterday. The message is clear. You step back, but there's nowhere to go. The room shrinks. Your hands tremble, not from the surgery, but from realizing you were never independent. You weren't freelancing. You were being groomed, tested, and now you belong to them. He says the donor is waiting. The recipients are waiting. You have a choice, he says, but you don't. Walk away and maybe tomorrow someone visits your hospital. Maybe questions arise about your sudden income. Or step into the OR and do what you do best. Almost everyone leaves satisfied. Your training screams no. The oath echoes like a ghost, but survival is louder. You think about your apartment, your car, your life that finally feels breathable. You imagine what refusal would cost, not just you, but your family, your name, everything. You nod. He pats your shoulder and leaves. You scrub in. The donor lies unconscious. You don't look at the face. If you see a person, you'll collapse. So you compartmentalize. This isn't human. It's anatomy, organs, tissue, a surgical problem. 6 hours, mechanical precision, clamp, cut, harvest, kidney, liver, heart, lungs, corneas. Everything viable packed carefully into coolers like any legitimate hospital. Your team works silently. No eye contact, no questions. When it's over, you walk out without turning back. They pay you enough to buy a house. Cash, you don't bank it. You hide it in storage like evidence, because that's what you are now. You didn't pull a trigger, but you dismantled a human being piece by piece. The distinction feels irrelevant. For 3 months, you drift like a ghost. You function at work, but feel hollow. Dr. Martinez corners you, asks if you're okay. You lie. She doesn't believe you. Then the phone rings again. Another harvest. You say no. Stronger than expected. A pause. Are you sure? Yes. You hang up. 2 nights later, 3 a.m., empty parking garage. Black van. You know before the doors open. 3 men. No words. You run. 20 feet before they tackle you. No weapons. Just fists and boots. Ribs, stomach, face. They avoid your hands. Can't damage the surgeon. When you're broken on the concrete, one whispers it's a warning. Next time it won't be you. 4 days in your own hospital. Cracked ribs, concussion, shattered cheekbone. You say it was a mugging. Dr. Martinez sits beside you. She knows you're lying. You want to tell her. The words won't come. After discharge, an envelope waits at home. Photos, your parents' house, your sister's campus, Dr. Martinez outside her building. The message is unmistakable. Everyone you love is collateral. You call back. You're in. Whatever they need. The voice sounds pleased. Welcome back, doctor. For 2 years, you become their ghost surgeon. 20, 30 procedures. Faces blur. You stop justifying. Stop pretending morality exists. You're a monster in scrubs, surviving only on the hope that one day there's an exit that ends in blood. Then a different call. Warehouse. 1 hour. No details. You arrive expecting routine horror. Instead, a 16-year-old boy lies strapped to the table, healthy, unconscious. The suited man explains casually. Wealthy client needs a heart. Original donor unavailable. This boy was taken 3 hours ago. Perfect match. Your hands shake. You've done terrible things, but this is different.
This is just a kid walking home. You say no. He reminds you of the photos, your parents, sister, Dr. Martinez. You know the consequences, but something finally breaks. You look at the boy's face. There's a line. You found it. You tell him to go to hell. The beating is worse. They smash your left hand with a pipe, 4 broken fingers, your operating hand. When you wake in the hospital, Dr. Martinez demands the truth. Your hand is in a cast. Your career is finished. You tell her everything. 72 hours later, you're in a federal building. She had suspicions, gathered evidence. The agents offer a deal. Immunity for cooperation. Names, locations, finances. You'll testify. But until trial, 8 months away, you must return, keep operating, wear a wire, gather proof. Otherwise, it's 20 years for multiple murders. You accept, because survival is what you do. 6 months of psychological warfare, every surgery recorded, every threat captured. You smile.